From his mama to his mother's mother.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
There were a lot of aspects of slavery that were brutal. And I'd like Gloria, Gloria? Gloria has been researching here. She's studying some of the more brutal side of slavery. The reason we're telling you both the good and the bad is people need to know.
Right.
So, would you like to take him through the vault and show him?
Yes, I will. Edgefield is rather famous for not being kind to their slaves. In fact, that's how I got here. My ancestor was a slave born here. These are coroner's reports. This one in particular is pretty brutal. This was a slave named Stepney, and he was told, he was sent out in the field to pick peas or something. And when he came back, he wanted him to do something else. And he didn't want to do it. So he tied him and he whipped him. Then he put a chain around his neck and locked it, and the other end of which was fastened to a pole in the yard where they cleaned hogs. And he left him out there and he died. And they brought him to court and accused him of killing his slave because it was against the law, you know, to treat them that way. But he was acquitted. Many records like that, so you have to understand how it was for black people here. It was rough. What else do you want to know?
Wow, I mean, I already exceeded my expectations.
You know a lot, all right?
Did you expect to get back this far?
I didn't expect to go this far. To be honest, I just expected more information about their daddy.
About Will?
Yeah.
What did he look like? Do you think he looked like
He was handsome. I look like him a little bit.
Is that where you got your good looks from, huh? Well, you know, Mr. Jackson, would you like to see the Donovan place? It's really close by, and I have access to it.
Sure.
And I'd love to show you around.
Wow, yeah.
All right. Well, let's do that, shall we?
Sure.
Okay. There's somebody I would like you to meet.
Hello, come on in.
Dr. Donovan, I would like you to meet Curtis Jackson.
Curtis, nice to see you.
Pleasure. We're headed to Carroll Hill, the home of R.G.M. Donovan. It's the place where my own kin lived and worked as slaves. We have no idea what to expect. Everything that I've learned over the last few days has been overwhelming. You know these things on a broad scope, but you don't know exactly how they apply to you or what people before you experienced it. I wouldn't be here without those people.
I'd like that.
You know, to go back into your history that you're going to find stuff that you ain't so happy with, but better to know it than to not know at all.
Was this May's house or the slave's house?
Yes, I'm going to show you this house. This is actually a house that was on the plantation when Jane was here, and in fact, when Adrienne was here. This is a typical kitchen house where they would cook for the main house. Your kin, your direct bloodline worked here, day in and day out. There probably became a time when she slept here. She could possibly have slept in here. Some of the kitchen help slept in the kitchen. Do you feel her vibes?
Being in the same room where my ancestors once lived as slaves was a heavy experience.
There's somebody I would like you to meet.
Hello, come on in.
Dr. Donovan, I would like you to meet Curtis Jackson.
Curtis, nice to see you.
Pleasure.
Glad to have you here. Did you have a good trip in Edgefield?
Yeah, so far.
I understand your great-grandmother worked here and maybe lived here for some number of years. That makes my skin crawl to think about. I know that means a lot to you to come back to a place where your kin folks had been.
Yeah.
How long have you been in the singing business?
About 7 years.
7 years. I only know one of your songs about the birthday.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Is that your biggest?
Yeah, one of the biggest ones.
I like the way you say it. I don't know exactly how you say it. It's your birthday, shorty, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I've heard that a few times and actually sing it to myself sometimes.
Yeah.
You see how far we've actually come from that time period. You see a man open the door now who actually knows my music. But who doesn't know my music?
I've got a little piece of pottery over there. I'd like to, Edgefield pottery, it's not an old piece. I wanted to give you as a gift and thank you for coming. That be okay?
Thank you.
My wife wrapped it up, so it may be an hour or so before you can get it unwrapped. I'll just give you the whole thing, but it's a small, small piece, but I thought you might give you something to remember your trip by.
Edgefield.
You play the piano?
Nah.
No? I was hoping you could get us a piano.
I could kind of sense that Mom Gladys was uncomfortable being in it, and I don't like to push people into uncomfortable situations, so, you know, it was time for us to get out of that.
Wow, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for coming. If you want to see the house, I'll be glad to show you. Or
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot.
That's enough, man.
I'm telling you.
Regardless of whatever adversity I might face, I always try to keep it moving and look to the future for inspiration. That's how I stay on top. I wanted to see what life was like in Edgefield County today, so I visited Strom Thurmond High School. Strom Thurmond High has a great cultural diversity. That's kind of funny considering Strom Thurmond, the man, supported segregation. We've come a long way since then.
As principal of Strom Thurmond High School, it's with honor and pleasure that I introduce to you 50 Cent.
A lot of you guys are probably wondering what I'm doing down here. I came down to Edgefield because I had some family that actually come from Edgefield. So I came out and I learned a lot about my actual history, and then learning about my history, there's a lot of things that came up, like slavery. And it was interesting to see how people interacted with each other in the past, and I just wanted to see how you guys were interacting with each other now. I actually want to hear some of y'all speak. Is that okay? She said,
well, you know, Edgefield County is a small town, ain't much to do. I just ride around listening to G-Unit and stuff. That's about it. Ride around, do my thing, you know.
you want to say something?
I feel really honored going to Strom Thurmond High School because there's like so much diversity here, and it makes everyone feel comfortable and okay with each other. So, I love you guys. I love class of 2011.
You go into school and you see all multicultural groups that are just interacting and enjoying each other on the same level. So it's exciting to see that.
My name is Kayla.
My name is Marcellus, and I grew up in Edgefield. We're currently dating. In the beginning, it was very rough. The black community wasn't that excited about me talking to a white girl, and, you know, the star football player, he's talking to a white girl. He can do better, but Kayla's my best friend, and I love her with all my heart.
A lot of people think the South is very racist, but from my own experiences, I don't see how it's any more racist than any other communities. You still have some people that are still stuck in old beliefs, but most people are to the point now where race doesn't play any part.
It really shows that we've come a long way here at school and in the community, period.
How do you feel coming back to Edgefield County? How do you feel about it?
I was asking a question. No, it feels good, you know, for me to learn more about my actual history. You know, and a lot of people don't know I'm adopted. Yeah, my grandmother adopted me after my mother passed away. So she's like my legal guardian. But my grandparents were from out here, so the last time I've been here, I was actually 6 years old. So I came out to meet her sisters, Betty Ruth and Gladys. And, you know, it's an amazing experience to come back out. I'd like to thank all of you guys for coming out. I really appreciate this, for you sharing your time and your actual school with me. But I have to leave, so. All right, thank you.
On this trip to South Carolina, I had the opportunity to meet kinfolk, family members that I never met before. I was able to go back down my bloodline and my family tree all the way to my great-great-great-grandmother's actual life and what that experience was like. I'm traveling places and seeing things that I didn't even imagine seeing in my lifetime. This was an opportunity for me to look closer into my own life because it shows you how far I've came. It's a beautiful thing.